Hey everyone, Donna Nelson here, holistic empowerment coach, lifestyle strategist, and organizational well-being consultant. I am on a roll of sharing with you tips and tools and some strategies for dealing with stress right now. We are in National Stress Awareness Month, and every day I'm going to be coming on and sharing tips with you on ways that you can deal with stress and build more emotional resilience. And today, I wanted to talk about some things that I had conversations with some ladies on yesterday, and that is the stress of expectation and perfectionism. And so many of us find ourselves in this place of wanting to be in control, wanting to manage the outcome, and wanting everything to be perfect, whether it's with our kids or with the way our home looks or the way we perform at work, the outcome, the numbers, the whatever. And the power of this expectation can really, especially right now, be really defeating and draining our energy. So I want to talk a little bit about how you can lower your expectation yet increase your energy and your outcomes as well. So here's what happens when we have this level of expectation and perfectionism and yet things don't work out the way that we wanted them to. We have this high level of self-expectation, things that we're expecting from ourselves as well as from others. And when you don't accomplish the task or finish the project when you wanted to, you lose control of the outcome due to many different things, a virus, something that's plagued the entire planet, then you maybe couldn't get the person to cooperate. A lot of parents are finding this right now. They can't control their children because you cannot control a child. They're going to do what they're going to do. And it can be very frustrating not being able to control employees right now, not being able to get your kids to do work or to behave, or not being able to, maybe get your spouse or your partner to cooperate or be responsive. Energy is different right now. And while we can't control everything that's going on around us, we can certainly control what's going on within us and how we are, what our mindset is, what our beliefs and are, as well as what our behaviors are. And that's going to help us control our feelings. That's going to help us manage our stress. It's going to help us become more resilient no matter what the situation is that we're faced with. So even if your to-do list is still full and you're exhausted and overwhelmed, and especially if that's the case, chances are you've been really pushing and pulling and working to control the outcomes of things for yourself and others. And that has led you to being disappointed with yourself, because I know myself certainly this shows up. Disappointment is my nemesis. And anytime that things maybe don't work out the way that I wanted them to, whether it's in a relationship or a business outcome or something I was planning that didn't happen the way that I wanted, then disappointment sets in very easily. And it's easy too sometimes to move into anger or feeling frustrated, which is just a lower level of anger anyway. And then we have that negative mind chatter that just confirms all of the feels that are going on, right? That feeling of being unacceptable or feeling defeated and feeling like that you're just not good enough, right? Because obviously, if you're a perfectionist and have that mindset that you had to have the 4-0 and that you had to win and that you had to hit every goal, every target, every time, then you have this high level of expectation of yourself. And so certainly if you don't achieve that, then you're going to feel this energy of not good enough, and then not being valued and maybe not being respected. And that could be the fear even that underlies all of that. I know parents right now are feeling the pressure of, being judged or rejected because they're not able to keep up with everything that is going on with their kids in their household, and whether they're working or they're not working. Everything is just a bit, stirred up and chaotic right now for most people. So even if you have still a bit of normalcy, whatever that is for you, and your routine, the energy around us that still have a routine that is pretty typical even before, COVID-19 attacked the world, we're still feeling the energy from everyone else because it's in social media, it's in our limiting our relationships and our ability to be social. So we're still feeling that. And so what is that doing for us? It just really adds to our mental, emotional, and our physical stress. And it's causing so many to be, our energy to be depleted. All right. So, and say hi when you come on. I want to know who is following this video, and I want to know if there's anything here that was a good tip for you that was helpful from the information that I share, something that you may have gotten out of this, even if it was one little thing. So here's the thing. Expectation and perfectionism are fear-based, and they're coming from the ego. And we want to be open and expansive. We want to be allowing. And the energy of allowing is giving us more ease. So when we're coming from this, and you know this, right? Because we know it's fear-based, and we know it's coming from our ego when we're worried about if someone's going to judge us, or if we're going to fail, or how the energy that we feel about ourselves in that judgment and not being good enough. That's all fear-based. And what I want to help you with today is to shift that expectation and perfectionism to allowing. So I had learned from Tony Robbins has this expression that he uses all the time that I learned when I went to one of his boot camps, is shifting the our mindset from expectation to appreciation. And that is when we're moving into appreciation, it's a higher level vibration energy than fear is, or frustration or anger. So anytime we can make a mental shift that then helps us create a different level of energy within us, because our emotions shift to a higher vibration, then we're automatically going to be feeling better. And it's a feedback loop. When we feel better, we think better. When we think better, we feel better. And then we do better. So when we're coming from this fear-based expectation, perfectionism, especially right now, and if you're in this loop of, well, that didn't go well. Well, I tried that, but that didn't work. Well, I failed at that. Or things just aren't working out. So you're continuing to talk to yourself with that mind chatter, and then that just keeps creating more negative energy. And eventually, because you're getting this chronic feedback, obviously your body is in a stress response because now you're worried and you're tense because things aren't working out. What's also happening though is when you're gonna start giving up. Right? Because when you're constantly, I'll just use the parents with trying to get their kids to do homework, or getting them on a new routine, or keeping them on the old routine, doing things like, eating in a routine, or getting to bed at the right time, doing their homework, and, just the little things, being cooperative, picking up their toys, that kind of stuff. When that's not working day in and day out, then you start to give up. And then you start to feel hopeless. And then, these draining energies keep trickling in more and more. So I want you to be conscious of the fact that, one, expectation and perfectionism are fear-based energies, and shift it to a positive, empowering energy, such as allowing and acceptance. And now I realize that it might be easy for me to say when you're like, no, this shit really has to be done. But does it? So I'll pose a couple of questions. I'll let you sort that out. But allowing and acceptance are coming from this love based, coming from our soul. Because here's the thing. When we're coming from fear and then you're feeling this kind of conflict, it's like, you know, it has to be done because that's what your mind is telling you. Like, there's rules, right? Like, the laundry has to be done. The kids have to get to bed. They're supposed to be on a routine. Everybody's giving me the, what we should be doing and how we should be doing it, what I should be doing in my business right now, what I can't be doing in my business right now. And it can be a bit overwhelming. And so now we feel like there's these expectations about us, but yet inside this inner knowing that's tugging on you is telling you it's okay to not. That's why you feel this conflict. If there was no conflict, you wouldn't feel the stress. But you already know within you that it's okay to just allow that inner aspect of yourself that wants you to relax and appreciate and be appreciated. So the other piece of expectation is that it's limiting, because you already have, and that's a challenge, right? We want to be open and expansive. We want more abundance. We want to manifest and have good things come to our life. But yet, when we're in this perfectionism, expectation, stress, we're setting the limit of what we're going to allow. And then that doesn't even work out in some cases. So stop the expectation so that you can stop limiting what you're allowing to come to your life. So limiting, you have this predetermined idea of what the outcome of what the result's going to be, or someone's behavior should be, or whatever. And when you're allowing, it's open and expansive. The opportunities are available to you without being restricted or boxed in to what you think can be. So ask yourself, find my questions that I have for you. So I knew I had another note here that I couldn't find before when I was scrolling through. So, all right. So what if you gave yourself permission to not be perfect? How crazy would that be? And what if expectation that you have is really unrealistic? And that's where this kind of came up yesterday when we were talking, is that all of this, pushing, pulling, and controlling energies are a struggle. And part of it is because we have so much on our plates right now. Like, for the parents, for those who are working or not working, those who have kids that are at home, there's a lot being piled on top of the bills piling on or all of these things again that build on our mindset of there's an expectation of me, or what I should be doing, or how I should be doing things. And then with that, we start feeling this struggle. We're pushing, things are pulling, we're trying to control the outcomes of things. And the energy is of allowing is just going to allow us this energy of ease. And this cat totally distracted me, so I lost my train of thought. He's such a nuisance. Ralphie, sit down. So the point was, we were talking about expectations and perfectionism being unrealistic. And it's unrealistic because all the things that are piled on us right now, or that we're expected to have as outcomes, are beyond what is our norm, beyond what is our skill set, beyond what is our responsibility. If you have kids that are in your home, unless you've been homeschooling, and that is not your thing, right? Like, we're not school teachers. um, and we're not, you know, put together to handle all of these extra things on top of our routine of working or trying to find work or trying to figure out, where the money comes from every day or whatever those things are. It's completely unrealistic. So give yourself a break and give everyone around you a break. And allow this ease to come to you by just allowing. It doesn't mean that you do nothing. It means that you take a step back and assess when you notice this coming over you. Like, I'm going to yell at my kids, or, oh my God, why didn't they get this done while I was doing this? And, why can't we, navigate this and have a routine? Why can't I seem to, pivot my business? And why can't I come up with an idea to, make money right now? Or why am I feeling so overwhelmed, like I need to control some outcome in society right now? It's because it's not what you're supposed to be doing, or you wouldn't be feeling the conflict. So take a step back and assess whether it really matters. Here's what I mean by that. What changes if it doesn't get done? Really, what earth-shattering thing is going to happen if it doesn't get done? What happens if a child behavior isn't corrected, even though it might be something that's undesirable? What is the worst thing that happens? And what if you just accepted what is and loved who you are and who they are in this moment? How would that energy be different? And what if you were to just appreciate the opportunity to even make a choice? Because that's really where your power is. It's in the choice that you get to make moment to moment. So moment to moment, you can decide, am I going to try and be controlling? Am I going to judge myself if this doesn't work out the way that it's supposed to be? Am I going to yell at my kid if they didn't do their homework, or if they mouth back, or, whatever it is? You have a choice in that moment. And when you make a decision, an empowering decision at that moment to allow and accept, allow yourself to let some things go and accept that that is okay and that you're okay and they're okay, you'll feel way more empowered. And what if you were just to appreciate the opportunity to choose to let the process of time and energy to take its course? And so while none of us know what that looks like, the beauty of that is trusting your inner knowing. So at any moment in that choice, when you're when you're stressed, then you can't know and trust your inner knowing because your fear is overriding that. And so we're trying to decide from a feeling what the right thing is to do, as opposed to from our soul level, from that spiritual aspect of ourselves, from our intuition. And this is why it's really important to find the tools, to know the tools, practice the tools for you that help you stay at your calm baseline, so that you can hear and know your inner knowing and know when it's the right time to just allow the process and the energy to take its course, and when it's time for you to take action. And doing more allowing will help bring your stress level down tremendously. So who needs you right now? So when you're thinking about, okay, what can I let go? And what do I need to act on? And what is it okay that it doesn't get done maybe the way that I would normally do things? So if you think about, doing a little kind of global assessment for yourself. So, who needs you right now? If you live by yourself, probably no one needs you right now unless you're on call with work. And if your phone's not ringing or blinking or whatever, then no one needs you right now. So there's no reason for you to try and find things to be controlling or to fix. And what needs your attention right now? Does anything, like, is there a fire in the kitchen? Is the bathwater overflowing? Because it's okay that there's clothes in the washer and that there's clothes in the dryer and you don't need to do anything about it because nothing really changes if that doesn't get taken care of right now. So, which leads me to what must be done right now. And then who do you need to be right now? So I want to lead with that because who you need to be right now is allowing and just being in this present moment. So whether that is for yourself with a cup of tea to just decompress and reflect on the day, whether it is a needy cat, and I wish that he would calm my nerves, but he doesn't. He's a stressor. He's very high maintenance. But being in that present moment right now, just allowing being with your kids, being with your partner, getting on the phone and connecting with someone who does make you feel better about yourself, and that, there's a good connection where you can have some meaning right now. Just being in the present moment, no matter what that is going to help you with that allowing process. So when you feel this energy of this push, pull, controlling energy starting to show up because there was, an explosion or a loud noise or a phone call or whatever the thing was, just take a hot second and just pause. And I want you to ask yourself this question, and it's in 3 parts, and every part you're going to answer independently. This was really powerful coaching question that I learned, and it is, do I need to change? And I'm obviously adjusting this for what we're talking about right now, but do I need to change, control, or respond to this? And the second piece of that is, in this way, so whatever your reaction or your thought about how you were going to handle it was, and do I need to do it right now? So does it need to have some action, needs a response, needs to be addressed, whatever? Yeah, probably sometime. Is the way that I was going to handle it my best self and the best way that it should be handled if I paused and gave it some time? And then, does it need to be done right now? I see this all the time. As soon as the phone blings, rings, email, the dryer alarm goes off, whatever it is, do we need to do that right now? Or can it wait? And I see this especially for those who are working from home right now and their time is really being controlled from many different angles. So take that pause and decide, needs to be handled and does it need to be handled right now? And if it doesn't, pause and allow yourself to work it in at a better time so you're not, again, adding on another thing, putting this unreasonable expectation on your time and energy right now. All right, those were my tips. Hi, Stan. Twice in a row you're plugging in. So, yeah, God, I hope I have something that's better than the news. So, all right, that is day 3. The power of allowing and acceptance over expectation and perfectionism. Share in a comment if there was anything of value. Share this out with someone or tag someone that you think needs to hear some of this. And I will be back tomorrow. All right, good night, everyone.